one.
Um, okay. Get out jungle. I like the name.
Yeah, it worked last season for me. Not this season though.
You're doing great though. 60% Lillia win rate. I like that.
Try my best, you know. I've actually these three games here that I've won. That
Yeah.
was after watching one of your YouTube videos. Like actually
Oh,
watched
really?
one and rewatched it again, and then that kind of helped me
Yeah.
because
That's awesome.
I've started uh I was forcing ganks a lot, and watching that video helped me like realize when I should gank. Like you
Yeah.
had your certain criterias where it's like if they've pushed up their health and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and that helped me a lot as well.
No, I'm glad. Yeah. I try to give advice that people could actually like apply to their own game. But yeah, did you did you message me because you had this lost streak that you got? Um.
Bro, I was playing this right. I was actually watching you while I was losing,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was obviously trying. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. Like I was so frustrated. I don't even type in chat because I got like two accounts permabanned, so I was like, I'm not typing in chat. I am not typing in
Man.
chat.
Yeah.
And then I was so frustrated. I had no idea. Let's like we don't have to look at like the Mastery because I'm terrible with Mastery, so let's not
Yeah.
look at that.
You're just tilted.
Uh I only played Mastery when they like banned Lillia, but I think
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
to switch Mastery and probably main some other champions. But
Yeah.
Lilia's like my number one. I want to
Yeah.
like number one Lilia. You know what I mean? Like play her only first, and then if she's banned, then someone else.
Yeah. So what game do you want to look at? Want to look
Um,
at one of these Lillia losses or
yeah, whatever you can pick whatever one. I don't mind. I think they're all pretty much the same.
okay? Is there? Let's see. This game is against.
Or we can go on that one. That one I got destroyed. I think.
Oh really?
Like I couldn't do anything. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, by the Pantheon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he invade you or like?
I actually can't even remember. I think this was just an all-round terrible game.
Yeah. Okay. That's well. That sounds good. Then we can learn something. All right. So the first thing I would like you to start doing. I don't know if you do this already, but
Mm.
like what you should start doing is like actively thinking about what your plan is and where you're gonna go on your first clear, right? Before you even spawn into the game. So if I were to ask you right now, like, what should your plan be on your first clear? Like, and what lanes do you think are most likely to be like, have what lanes could you gank and have the most likely like success rate?
Um, maybe top lane, I would say, because also if I do a nice gank on Garen, he has no TP, so he loses a lot. That's what I feel like.
Yeah,
But but then Briar has the stun as well.
yeah. These team comps are a little tricky and a little interesting team comps, but like um if I was you, I'd be looking at the matchups here. I'd say so. Trundle Garen is like they'll probably fight, so maybe there you could gank it. But they're also it's kind of hard to catch Garen sometimes. So that's what I would think about. Like so maybe if Garen is low enough and he's pushed up, I'd probably gank. And then mid lane, it's two melee champions. Which for mid lane, if there's two melee champions, then I sometimes think about ganking mid. But mid lane is like you never focus on mid lane. It's just like because usually you can just gank mid lane when you're passing by or something. You don't have to actually think about it
Mm.
too much. And then bot lane, I would actually path bot lane here, or at least think about ganking bot lane early. Do you know why?
Could that be because Xerath has a lot of range, so he could be poking the Jhin down, and then they would be pushing the wave a lot, especially with
Yeah,
Twitch passive.
yeah, that could happen as well. That could happen. Xerath, Xerath and Twitch kind of they. I feel like those champions kind of want to fight, right? Early game, like they'll try to damage, like poke out your laners.
Yeah,
But then you have Jin plus what's her name? I forget.
Briar.
Briar. I don't really know how Briar support works, but they might just fight. And they have CC. Like, Jin has the snare and she has a stun, so I would think about getting bot lane because they have two squishy champs and you have some CC. But yeah, we'll see. But usually with Lillia, I don't really think about ganks like too much. Like you said, like most of the time I'll do what's best for me to get my full clear off.
Mhm.
So this game, I would be a little paranoid about Pantheon invading me
I,
early.
right.
Yeah,
I actually can't remember what I
yeah.
did
Let's
this
see.
game.
Let's change it so we can only see what we see. Okay, so you saw them all invade your bot side. This is actually very good by you to ward. Yeah, ward opposite of ward there. This is very good. I usually always do this as well. Because you know if they walk into your jungle, they're probably dropping wards and stuff. So you might as well trade vision. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's good. You start blue here. Um,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it's
pretty
fine.
sure, yeah.
I think it's fine. Also, I don't know if you. There's a path that I can show you. I made a short about it on blue side where you can get to like the void grubs at level 5 right as they spawn. But that's like that's a whole different thing.
Right. I think I struggle with like pathing. Like 9 times out of 10, I will do um like a top to bot path or like bot to top, like nothing else. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like
yeah.
or mainly
I
mainly
mean,
just top to bot.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with that though. Like, I think that's usually fine. But I think with Lilia, like a lot of times starting Raptors is also just. I mean, have you seen the way I do it when I start Raptors?
Yes, the most recent games. That's what I've been doing.
Okay, yeah. I like it because sometimes you just can start farming your second clear a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And it also just it's like faster clear because starting red buff takes a while, but starting Raptors is like really fast. But yeah, full clearing down is fine in this game. It's kind of like I said, like you are pathing towards the correct lane in my opinion. So yeah, so what? Okay, so once you're here, this is what I start doing. Do you like do you struggle with like looking at lanes and seeing what
Uh,
or
I have changed my F keys into Z, X, and C because that's what you said in one of your coachings, and I keep doing that as well. So that's not a
yeah?
problem for me.
Let's
Yeah.
go. That's awesome, bro. You actually watch my videos. That's cool.
Yeah.
You you pay attention. I like that. So yeah, if you can use those. So what I always do when I'm doing a full clear, right? So you
Mhm.
do these camps, and once you've like, if you since you started blue this game, you probably know that you're not gonna gank top lane, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't even need to look top. You can, if you have the F keys going, you can like take a peek. But most of the time, that like for you to gank top lane, you would give up all of these camps, and you would lose a lot of XP. So the way I think is whichever side I'm starting on, I don't really look at that lane too much on my first clear. I just I literally I can like look at my own camera, just clear all of these camps. But then once I do the Raptors, I might look mid lane for a second. And then when you're doing your red buff and your Krugs, every time you have time, you should just be looking bot lane. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah. And see how if you're on Krugs, for example,
Yeah.
what do you look for mid lane? Do you just look if in case Gragas is pushed up, for
Well,
example, and stuff like that?
by the time I get to my Krugs, I'm not looking mid lane anymore. I only look
No,
on
no.
Raptors. All right, what's up?
Yeah, if you are on Raptors,
Oh
that's
yeah.
what I meant. Yeah.
It would
What
just
do you look
be
for?
yeah, it would just be if the minion wave is over here, for example, right, and they're both
Right.
low, then I would look.
Okay.
But for example,
Right.
when you're playing as Gragas, you have to remember like if he has this much health, do you think you're ever gonna kill him? Like he has his E and a flash, so you also have to think about for mid lane. I think flashes are very important. So ganking mid lane early is hard if the enemy has flash, right? Because
Right.
most
Yeah.
of the time, like he can flash E and be under his tower from here. So mid lane has to be very. You have to be like okay, they're about to fight and one of them's gonna die. That's when you gank, you know?
Yeah.
But then when you're doing your red buff and your Krugs, you're just seeing what's happening here. And if you were playing the game right now and you looked and saw this, what would you be thinking?
Um. Actually, I don't know. I mean, I can see the enemies pushing into our tower,
Yeah.
so I could probably look for a gank after my Krugs
Yeah.
because they'll probably walk up. But Twitch is also missing, so he could
Yeah.
also come up with his Q.
I think
That's
depending on Twitch's health here, if I were you, so this kind of meets, this is about to meet one of our conditions, right? Because these minions are gonna die, and then this wave is gonna be all the way over here, right? By the time this wave gets here, like, their wave is gonna be here, and there's another wave coming, so it's gonna be frozen under our tower, right? So that's gankable, right?
yeah,
That's one of the times, but there's another thing is like you have to look at your teammate's health. And when I see my Jin has
yeah,
this much health and no heal, I'm very scared.
right,
Especially that they have Pantheon. So every time you think about whether you can gank, like if your condition is met, you should then ask yourself, like, obviously you have to check their health. That's the other condition, that enemy team. But it also is your team, and then you think about more broadly, you think, okay, if I gank right now and Pantheon shows up, do we win 3v3?
oh,
And what
okay,
do you think the answer would be here?
no,
Yeah, probably not. So I would actually, because you can't gank and your team can't help you, in this case, I wouldn't even walk into this tri brush. I would just instantly recall after Krugs, because I know that if I try to walk into the river and Pantheon is here, then because this wave is gonna be here, their bot lane is just gonna move and kill you.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
That might be like a lot to think about, but once you get it
yeah.
down, it's very, very OP.
The thing is, sometimes I will actually think about that, and sometimes I won't, which is kind of weird. So I'm
Yeah.
after this, I'm gonna make like a list where
Yeah, no.
before every game, I'm just gonna reread it.
Yeah. That's why like I'm recording so you can watch this. Like, I would recommend watching this maybe a few times before you go to sleep or something. I don't know, like that's what I did when I got coached. Like I would watch the coaching videos before bed, and that's when you remember a lot. It's when you go to sleep on it. I don't know. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, I ganked that actually.
Well, I mean, it might work. Yeah. It actually ended up being pretty good, and I think, yeah. I mean, so like you're just kind of, if Pantheon is here, it might be a little tricky, but it seems like Briar's pretty strong, I guess.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing though. Sometimes like these things work, but as long as you understand like the concept of what I'm telling you, like,
Mhm.
like I mean, you see, like even though you ganked and it was a 3v2, they traded 2 for 2. If Pantheon would have
Yeah.
been there, it probably would have been more scary. Okay.
Oh, I think I die here.
Yeah. Let's see. I think it was okay for you to try to help your Aurelia out, but you might just. Oh no. Okay, we're out.
Oof.
That wasn't that bad. I think you probably. Let's see. Okay, this is another thing. I know so many people do this.
Is it the E?
Yeah, your E sucks here.
Yeah, and in the recent games I've changed that because in another video of yours I've seen that
Yeah,
you don't use your E first, you come up and you use your Q first.
yeah.
So that's what I've started using
Especially,
as well.
yeah, that's especially when you have your ult, right? And if the enemy team is gonna be like, for example, here, right? If you can get into range of the enemy team without using your E, then you shouldn't use your E. You know. So
Yeah,
I want you to think about, what do you think would have happened here if you sat in this bush and then when they walk here, you just WEQ the Gragas.
I would have killed him,
He probably
most
would have gotten
likely.
one shot. 'Cause, like the most important ability to hit when someone's face checking you is your W. by the way.
Right.
You know why?
It does extra damage if you hit the
Yeah, if you hit
center
him
of
in the
it.
center, it does by far the most damage in your kit. So, especially early game. Actually, I think you actually hit your W there,
Yeah.
but because you used your E and missed it, he's kind of like ready to flash and he's not slowed. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, now you know though, and after watching my other videos, you know, you just have to be patient with your E. Especially early, like later in the game, I might throw out my E's a little bit more. But early in the game, like every single ability matters, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, that might have went better, but it's not the end of the world here. And now, um, okay, if I were you, I honestly would have went for these.
I think I do go for them.
Do you know why it's pretty good to go for them?
Was that not because Pantheon went bot side and he was passing from bot to top?
Yeah, correct. That's exactly why. So he should probably be on his like Gromp or his Wolves right now. So that means that if he were to see you, even if he saw you on this thing, which you can kind of avoid division,
Yeah,
um,
from the top side.
but they actually okay. So I'll just go back here. When you or sorry, let's see when you see them. Okay, so are you talking about like walking right here?
Yeah.
They removed that.
Oh.
Yeah, so that doesn't work anymore. But what you can do is if you sat like right here and you just press your E, and then they would all walk towards you. You could get them very low before then you would have to go in and show yourself. But
Right.
also, even if he saw you, because you know that he started bot side and went top, which is very good for you to recognize that. Like I'm proud of you. Um, then you should know that you could at least get two of them, maybe one, but usually you could get two of them before he would even get there. And if we look at like where he is, I mean he's not well, he's he's still in base, bro. Which means well, if he's in base, he would have if he would have seen you, he'd maybe get there faster. But I think you could have gotten at least two of these, which give you a decent amount of XP.
Hmm.
But
I also, when I try to do the grubs, I always try to save the smite for the very end in case the jungle dash comes, so I can at
yeah,
least smite one.
yeah, you should always hold your smite.
I also group them together for my Q and W.
This was fine that you smited here because you had two charges, right? So now you have the
Yeah.
yeah, good. Yeah, if you have two smites, it's always good to smite the first one and then you smite the third one. Okay, that actually worked out pretty well. So now we just full clear and we're in a good spot. We just saw Pantheon bot lane. Damn,
I'm gonna go for that.
could be a kill. Oh no, Briar knocked them away. Well, I'll just go to my Krugs. That's unlucky. Yeah, do you go to your
Yeah.
Krugs? Okay. Yeah. At this point in the game, like what do you think you should be thinking about right now? Like,
Um, maybe trying to get prior bot lane and getting a Drake. That's what I would probably think.
yeah, well, that is a play that you can do in a lot of games, but why would that maybe not be the best this game?
Because my bot lane's behind, plus their junglers ahead and their
Yeah,
bot lane's ahead, so we would lose 3v3.
yeah. So this guy's pretty strong, and this guy's pretty strong. You're strong, but these guys are not very strong, right? So
Yeah.
you just think about the 3v3. If you're trying to get pressure and walk into dragon, then you know that Pantheon will try to fight you, and their bot lane will come. So in this game, yeah, probably being the first to start dragon is not good. What I would be thinking about is just getting level 6. I think you're very close. And
I think I
then,
get it here.
yeah, wow.
Oh
Okay,
no.
you're like 1 XP off. That's okay. When you're 1 XP off 6, you just, a lot of times, you might have been able to walk here, stand right here, be out of vision, and just take XP from the cannon.
Uh-huh.
That's what I do. I just try to steal a little bit of XP.
I
So
don't
yeah,
actually know why I walk up here, by the way.
yeah. I don't. It's pretty risky. Oh, but now you're level 6, so I would actually maybe think about fighting. But their health bars don't look too good. But okay. But if you're not gonna fight,
I probably should have recalled now, right?
sure, we call it a nose push. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like you either take this fight because they were kind of low health and you got level 6, or you just recall instantly. And
Right.
then we just go back to our top side, right?
Yeah.
But this is what this is a little extreme example, but sometimes, like for example, if there's a mid lane play going on, like the enemy jungler is ganking mid, and you're over here, you might think that it's like, oh, maybe if I walk there, I can do something. But in like a play like this, like you know this play is over if you just look at this, like your Irelia is gonna die, and then these guys are all gonna like walk away,
Yeah.
and you can't really fight them anyway. So what a lot of people do is they'll try to walk to a play that is they're too late to do. Like you know what I mean? You're too late if you try to walk to this, and then you'll just
Hmm.
end up wasting more time for yourself. And
Right. Yeah.
so what you have to try to think about when these type of things happen is like, okay, I just need to focus on myself, like do my own play. So in this case, you would recall and just go through your topside camps. But there are some times, right? This happens a lot in my games. Is if I'm like doing my camps over here on my top side, and the enemy team ganks bot lane, I know that I can't actually just walk bot lane and get there in time to do anything. So what do you think I'll do a lot of times?
Invade.
Yeah, I'll just take these camps. And then even though if my bot lane dies or something, at least I'm getting strong.
Hmm.
So you just have to think about what
Uh,
you can do. And in this case, you can't take anything, but you can recall. Well, I mean, you did recall though. You just did it like 10 seconds slow. Oh, and you canceled it.
oh no.
Um,
I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. I
no,
think
I
it's
mean,
because I've seen Pantheon walk down.
yeah, yeah. You just have to. I mean, it's what I always say though. You just have to have confidence in your first choice. You know, your first decision.
Hmm.
As jungle, especially, like every time you hesitate, you just waste more of your own time instead of going for one or the other. Like I would rather see you just die for a play rather than like walk back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, this game is looking rough. Your bot lane is just kind of gap, but we can full clear here.
I think I'll look top lane there
Yeah,
because I see the health. Oh,
that's for help. This is fine.
and E again. Hmm.
Yeah, eat a little bit too early.
I thought I could maybe get on the Garen.
Oh,
He's a bit
yeah.
too fast. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I would have played this fight a little bit differently. Like I said, I would have saved my E, but I also ulting here is like, you know why you shouldn't ult here?
Uh, no, but I would have. If I would have played that fight again, I would have saved my ult to hit both of them.
Yeah,
But otherwise, I have no idea.
you should think about ulting both of them. But also, like if I were you, unless you're just trying to get out, like if you ult here and then just run away, that's fine because this looks kind of suspicious. But I would try to get a few more Qs in and run like kite them a little bit. Because then if you were like fighting the Pantheon with your Qs and stuff, and then Garen would try to help Pantheon, and then you could get a double like ult.
Hmm.
But like if you think about it, like with Lillia, like a lot of times you want to ult when you know that because of your ult you can get the kill. You
Right.
like either you can kill them or your team can kill them. But here, can you kill this guy while he's sleep like after the sleep or
No.
through the sleep? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
So it's just tough. What I would have done, honestly, what I would have done is right here, your Trundle pings for help. I'd look top, And I'd think to myself, okay, this guy has no mana. This guy's under his own tower. I don't even care. I would just danger ping him because like if he gets ganked, he dies, but if I gank, Garen probably doesn't die. You know,
Hmm.
this just doesn't look good for us, right?
Yeah,
You know, it
it
looks a lot
doesn't hit
better
the
than this.
criteria.
Yeah.
If Garen would have been pushed up, that would have been
Yeah.
a
Do
lot better.
you know what looks a lot better than ganking this?
Farming,
All of these camps, you know?
getting
Um
guaranteed gold.
yeah. And there are some times where you can go for a play like this, but I think when all of your camps are up, you should be very scared, you know?
Mm.
But yeah, but whatever. This happens. That's okay. Now we just have to go. You can go to either side here because all of your camps are up. Yeah,
I just continue up, I think.
you just path down. It's fine. Let me see. I need to turn on the map. Turn on objective timers. Oh wait, it's bugged. Oh, but the grubs are spawning, so this is good. Going top here is good because the grubs are spawning. That E was fine because you weren't really gonna catch him anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have
If
slowed
he,
him, maybe your team could have caught him. Yeah, so these grubs should be free. So this game looks a little tough, but like you're in an okay spot. Yeah. Oh, Gragas's making a bottom play. Your Aurelia is kind of wasting her time helping you.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this game looked a little doomed from your team's perspective, but the enemy team is actually not that up that much gold. Yeah, so you should just full clear. Games like this are just awkward because I mean, realistically, your plan right now should just be trying to like farm and then maybe try to kill the Pantheon if he gets caught, you know. Try to
Hmm.
like try to somehow get that shutdown. A lot of times when I'm behind on Lillia, or if my team is behind, I'll try to just set up like some type of team fight with my team where I can like do flash into their whole team and try to get the people that are worth a lot of gold like left so my team can kill them.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you're in this situation, it's just hard, you know. There's not much you have to kind of rely on the enemy team to mess up. But all you can do is just full clear, you know. Full clearing is the best. Okay. This is good. This is a punish. I used your E early, but so here this is good because you might die, but okay, never mind. Nice dodges. This is actually a very good play. Even though you used your E here, I think it's not that bad to E, but this is exactly what I was talking about. Like this Twitch, he already lost his big shutdown, but he's like most of their kills, right?
Hmm.
So getting a single ult on him is perfectly fine. If your team can kill him, you know?
Yeah, I
This
think
is
they
a really
do
good
it.
ult.
Yeah.
Now, you could even maybe do Dragon if you're
I think
that.
that's what I pinged for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little scary because how low you are, but your team might be able to do
But
something.
yeah, I think I seen Pantheon coming. That's why I ran. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I would like look again. So here's the thing, look, if I were you right now, I would love to do Dragon. But the reality is you're super low. These guys are half health and your Aurelia has no mana. So there's actually nobody on your team that's very useful right now.
Hmm.
So like I would think about doing Dragon, but then I'd be like fuck, I can't, you know?
Yeah.
So I think you should have just recalled actually. And it's just first
Like,
dragon, and when you're playing Lillia, like if first dragon hasn't even been taken at this point, you should be very happy.
Yeah, because I'm getting stronger, right?
Yeah, because you're scaling, and you know, 4 dragons kind of like the enemy team is not good for you as the scaling champion. You know, like the sooner they get all the dragons, the worse it is for you. So if they're taking the first dragon at 13 minutes, you should be very happy. And so
Right.
yeah, even though you got away, you kind of got your team killed by that with that call. So you just gotta remember like, and do you know what? Do you know why this is a concept? It's kind of like applies to a lot of league. Do you know why this is bad?
Could it be because it really has no mana and
Yeah, yeah.
then no one has health?
It's kind of like what I was saying, right? You guys just used all of your resources, like your health and your mana, to to get the kill on Twitch,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, you guys used a lot. So now you don't have any tempo. You know, you
Yeah.
understand what mean by that? Like,
Yeah.
and you should think about it like tempo in league is like if it's your tempo, it's your turn to make a play, and you used
Hmm.
your turn here, and because of how much you used, you don't have a turn anymore. Now you have to recall. But the enemy team, they didn't really use a lot. Their Twitch died, but the rest of them have everything. So now it's their tempo on the map. So
Yeah.
what you have to do in like league to be the best is always recognize if you can recognize when it's your turn to make a play and when it's the enemy team's turn to make a play. A lot of times you can, not end up in bad situations, and you can always find the enemy team in bad situations. Does that make
Right.
sense? It's kind of like
Y- Yeah, I get it.
it, it's hard to understand maybe or like fully grasp, but if you think about it more and more, you just think to yourself like how strong are we and how strong are they? Like how many things do they have? Do they have their ults? Do they have their flashes? All those things contribute.
Yeah.
So it's hard to judge it all the time. But in this case, it's very obvious that you guys just kind of used all of your stuff, right?
Hmm. Yeah, all the ults and flashes,
Yeah.
so and they've still and Pantheon wasn't even fighting there, so
Yeah,
he would
exactly.
have all
Like
his abilities.
most of their team wasn't even there, so you should know that they're probably full health. That's when you know, like, oh, it's okay. It's not our turn anymore. I hope that makes sense a little bit at least.
Yeah.
I just want to give you like the broad thing because like you can apply that idea to so many things, right? So now we just do our camp still again. But imagine how happy you would be if, like, for example, like if that was their first dragon and none of your teammates would have died. Like you'd be so happy.
Yeah.
But now you're a little bit less happy.
Yeah. I think like around now that's kind of where I might start getting like irritated.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like you might be frustrated at your team for dying there, but then when you look back at it, you're like, I kind of caused them to die, you know?
Yeah,
But
I 100% was mad at them there.
yeah,
So now because you've pointed out, now I get it. It's literally my fault.
yeah. And I mean, it's just as jungle, like it's kind of our job to make the right decisions for the team. So that's why I think jungle is like, I think it's the best role, but it's also the hardest because one mistake is sometimes you get your whole team killed. It's really sad.
Hmm.
I do it all the time. So no worries, but yeah. Yeah, doing the Herald tier is fine. I don't like Herald because it takes forever, but if you're doing it to punish the enemy team for playing bot side, it's always good to take, you know?
I think I kind of thought if I don't take it, Pantheon's going to come top now and then kill Trundle and he'll take it, and then he'll
Probably.
just take the full
Yeah.
top lane.
Yeah. No, you probably will. I just think it's like because of how long it takes to take the Herald, I never like taking it. Unless it's very like free, you know? And in this case I think it was good to take. Because we saw them take Dragon, right? And then recall.
Yeah.
So you had time. But this is good, like our farm is not too bad. Okay. Now we just need to focus on getting our item. I don't know how much gold you have, but hopefully you have your Landries now. Did your Trundle ping you? I would have pushed this wave if I was you. But your Trundle would have
Right.
rage quit. Sometimes you
I
can't
think that's
do
why.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I think I was trying just to because he wasn't that far behind, so I think I was just trying to keep him happy in game as
Yeah,
well.
no, no. And you have to keep your team happy. But like even though like sometimes you want to make like you want to take a wave because it's good for the game, but sometimes your teammates will just get mad. Um but yeah, okay, here you probably know this already, but I don't think you should walk to your raptors here.
Is that because the Grump is spawning?
I mean, yeah, your Grump is a your Grump's alive and your Krugs are alive. So either way, if your goal was to clear all of your camps, then starting Raptors would be the worst, right?
Yeah.
Because if you start Raptors, then you have to go all the way here and then all the way over here to your Grump.
Yeah.
But if you start your Grump, you could go to your Grump and then your Raptors into your Krugs, or if you start your Krugs, you can go Krugs, Raptors, Grump, right? And go into a
Yeah.
straight line. So you should always think about going in a straight line. I don't know if you've heard me say that before, but
Yeah. I did actually in
yeah.
the
And in this
recent video.
case, I would have started Krugs because the wolves just spawned, right? So
Yeah,
and
that would
then
have
it would have
planned out
been
perfectly.
yeah, it would have been even yeah, it would have been perfect. Yeah. Now it's like we just came back from recalling and now you're just bot lane. There's not much for you to do. I mean, I guess pushing the wave is fine. I would do this too if I found myself here. I probably wouldn't look for a fight. Yeah, I can show you why this is very bad. Wait, do we see Pantheon? How did he get into your jungle?
Yeah, I don't even know. Oh, wait.
Does he get past this vision? Wow, this ward doesn't spot
What?
him. Okay, that's unlucky. I can't be too mad at you. That's very unlucky. But I will say, um, you're just walking in here, and the only person with you is your 1 in 6 Briar, and like, you should kind of assume that that's not like a complete idiot,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And if like he's only fighting you because Pantheon is here, but if he were to run away, and then Twitch came, and then Pantheon was like over here, you'd still die. You're probably never killing here. You kind of have to wait for your Jhin and Aurelia. Something, but yeah. That was really weird that he got past it. He walked past this somehow.
To be fair, I was really surprised when I
No,
played that
that
game.
is crazy. I don't blame you too much, but
Thought a bad fight.
yeah, I mean, you kind of have to. It's like I say this a lot. You have to in a game like this, you have to really play around the strongest person on your team, and unfortunately, nobody on your team is that strong in this game. But when I'm playing Lillia, I like to fight a lot with like in this game. I would love to fight with my Trundle or my Aurelia.
Right.
I would try to find like times where if like Trundle's like pushed up here, if I'm just sitting behind him, maybe we could find like a 1v2 or a 2v2. Or the same with Aurelia, on the other side. I would
And you
not
think
yeah, what's up?
and you think we could win a 2v2? Like
Yeah.
me and Trundle, for example, against the Garen and Pantheon?
Yeah, I think you have a good chance. The thing is like if you're cheesing it, right, and you catch them by surprise and you sleep them both, I think there's a good chance you kill one and run away. Or
Right.
maybe kill two. But it's not guaranteed though. But you can't take a guaranteed play because you're down 5,000 gold
Mm-hmm.
or 6,000 gold. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like when you're in a game like this where it feels really bad, you have to find one of your side laners a lot of times. Like if you have a strong solo laner that can just like, Trundle is a very strong solo laner. He has lethal tempo, Triforce, like he's gonna do damage no matter what. So what I would try
Yeah.
to do is I would try to make like some type of play where you catch the enemy by surprise by standing behind him and setting up a play. The last thing I would do, like, because you think about what are your alternatives? You can't really fight any of the dragons. Like, you probably can't fight the next two dragons because your team is so far behind.
Yeah.
So what you should think about is like what is my other options? Your other options are fighting with your bot lane mid. Does that sound good?
Uh-huh. Well,
No,
no.
no, it sounds
Yeah.
terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These guys are inting.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, your Jin is not inting, but like, I mean, he has a Briar support. They're not playing well. That's the point. These guys don't do anything.
Yeah.
So we need to play around champions that can actually win fights. And Irelia is the same. Even though Irelia is behind, if she has Bork, she can always win fights. That's just how the champion works, you know?
Right.
So if I were you right now, oh, your Trundle's not happy. I would do this Gromp, and then I'd do these wolves, and then I would try to take this crab, and then I would just stand near my Trundle. Oh no, your Trundle's TPing bot. Well, never mind. I guess you can't do that. But I was gonna say, if your Trundle didn't TP bot, what you could think about doing here is you would play with your Trundle as he pushes up, right, and try to take this tower. Because, and the reason you could probably maybe pull it off is because they would only send one person to stop him while the rest of the team sets up the dragon. You see how the dragon is
Right.
spawning in like 46 seconds?
Yeah. And then you wouldn't show yourself, right? As
Yeah, yeah,
Lillia.
you would
You
stay
would.
hidden. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean though. Like, you have to find these opportunities, and when you're behind, the best opportunity is when the dragon is spawning. Then go top lane and try to make a play, right? Because
Right.
the enemy team is using all their resources bot, so you commit your resources top, and that way you can. Sometimes you can find, a lot of gold.
Yeah, especially with the tier 2 towers.
Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure they give like 600 gold, right?
yeah, they give way more gold than other towers. But yeah, because you're trouble TP, you can't really do it. So that's unfortunate. Let's see. But the rest is, but yeah. Other than that, though, like, not much you can do. I guess you're kind of doing that. It's good though. Like, oh, he took it way too early.
Yeah, I think he was writing in chat that it was a misclick.
That's unlucky. But think about like, you would have done. You almost did this thing that I told you to do. Like, if your Aurelia would have heralded the tower and you would have been with her while they were doing dragon, you guys could have gotten this tower. So
Yeah.
that was good that you kind of almost did it. Your Aurelia just fucked it up. But yeah, so other than that, just keep clearing our camps. But I don't know if you've noticed though, like there was a point in this game where we're doing your camps really well, but now you've disconnected your camps in their spawn timers a lot.
Yeah,
What's going on here? Are you typing?
I think so. I think I was typing. I think I was that fed up already.
Okay. Well, but I mean, I think this game is kind of over. So I don't know. Unless you want to keep watching it, I mean, we could maybe take a look at another game, like the early game or something.
Yeah. I mean, we can look at maybe a winning game where I think
Yeah.
I'm doing obviously fine and you can point out little things that I might
Okay. Yeah, we can
miss
do
off
that.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this game, everyone was giving up now. Trundle wasn't playing with us at all, so
Yeah. I was.
no one was
Yeah.
playing
That's,
together.
no, no, yeah. This game was pretty over. But I think we've found a lot of things at least.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that really like the thing that matters the most for junglers is the first like 15 minutes, honestly. After that is less important because sometimes like a lot of times the game is over before 15.
Hmm.
But I'll say the last thing I'll say is like you just this game you kind of disconnected your camps. So like you you had started off doing the line, right? Like just doing a
Yeah.
full clear, which is always good. And but then one time you like kind of messed it up because you like went to gank top or something, and you just never fixed it. So you always found yourself doing maybe you do your Raptors and your Krugs, then you do something and then recall, and then do your Gromp and your Wolves, and then do something. But
Yeah.
so because of that, like it slows down your clear just by a few seconds every time, and it just decreases how much XP and gold you're getting every minute.
Right.
So I don't
Okay.
know if there's something you can try to think about. And I will say, like, you can't keep your clear perfect every single game, but every time you do keep it perfect, then you're really happy,
Okay.
if that makes
I didn't
sense.
even know that it was slow in the clear by a lot, so that's
Well, it
actually
is,
important.
yeah. Because I mean, a lot of times I think about like, unless I see something very free, I want to do all four of my camps before making a play. But what you were
Hmm.
doing is you're actually taking two camps and then making a play, and then taking two camps and making a play. So instead of taking four camps in a play, you're doing two plays for every one play that I would be doing,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
every play takes up like 20 to 1 minute or something, 20 seconds to 1 minute of time, maybe more. Um,
Right. I
so
get it.
it,
Yeah.
it adds up pretty fast.
Hmm.
So which one of these winning games do you want to watch? Want to
I'm
watch this
fine
one?
with all of them. That yeah, we can watch that one. They
Yeah,
were all right after rewatching your video, so
that's awesome.
that one's perfect because my bot lane's entered a lot, even though they have kills, but still died, so gave away a lot of gold.
All right, let's get it. This game, let's see. On us. Get out jungled. Oh, wait, am I on the wrong?
I think I pathed top lane there because
Did you start
Vayne
Raptors?
obviously, yeah, I pathed top lane, started Raptors because Vayne obviously is ranged. That's what I was looking at, and I didn't really want my Tryndamere to be bullied as much because I wanted them to be strong for split pushing.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that what you would do, or would you prefer to go bot lane maybe because we've got Pyke and then he could hook someone and then obviously Lucian can E
Yeah, this
over.
game, I would honestly, okay, if I were playing this game, I probably would have started Raptors and then I would have done Krugs and then red buff and then I would have just put my camera bot lane to see if I could gank. So, and
Right.
there's a chance that they push and then I would gank, right? Because Lucian Pyke are very strong. But if I didn't see a gank, I would just keep clearing top, and then I'd maybe look top. Top lane, it's kind of hard to kill a Vayne with Flash and Ghost, so she has
Hmm.
to really be pushed up and trolling. So I would be a little like suspicious about ganking top lane, but I would still look. I would still path top because then a lot of times when you're playing like champions like Lillia, you just want to do your full clear and then recall, and then because I path from bot to top, then I can walk bot lane with items and look again, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would do. So I would do the same thing as you, but I would have a little bit different of an idea, you know?
Right. I don't know if this is the game where I mess it up and I go um chickens into red buff instead of the Krugs.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's not a
I
big deal.
realized that. I realized that once I finished red buff, but
The only reason it's bad is because it slows down the respawn time of your Krugs, which can sometimes make it so that on your next clear, it'll be a little like you'll have to wait. Yeah, for example, if you look here, but when you did your Krugs, you look bot lane, you see this, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna gank.
yeah,
It's very easy to tell that you're not gonna gank this, right?
I did also look mid lane. Katarina was close, but then I started walking. I didn't walk towards mid because she has E still.
You should also think Katarina has yeah, she has her E, and Smolder has nothing, right?
Hmm.
He has no CC. And Smolder's a very hard scaling champ, so you just want to let him scale. When you have champions like Smolder mid, the only times you would gank mid lane is if his wave was really bad and you had to save him. You know? Like for
Right.
example here, if if he didn't have flash and this was a little bit later in the game and he has a wave like this and the Katarina was like trying to hold it or she was threatening to go in on him, then maybe you could come and like stand behind him. That's like another thing that people do. It's called hovering. And a lot of times for mid lane, you hover them to help them push in a wave, or you can do it for top too, or bot lane. You can do it for every lane, but most of the time it's mid or top. Is sometimes you just want to hover them. For example, you just sit in this bush, tell him to push the wave, and then if the Katarina goes in, then you can punish.
Right.
But you know, I think it works more in high elo. I don't know if your team will bait it perfectly in platinum, but you know, it's an idea you can think about sometimes. Because like I think hovering is a lot of times better than ganking. Because if you're the first person to gank, then you can get punished. But if you're the second person to gank, you can punish the other jungler. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have hovered there, or would you have hovered in platinum, for example?
No, I would not have hovered there because I'm doing my
Right.
first. I'm just doing my first clear. I didn't like. If he dies there, he's an inter. You know,
Right.
it's not really up to me to hover them at this point in the game. I just meant more so in like later in the game. You know. Okay. Okay. He did 28. Okay. This is okay. This is fine to cancel your recall to do these raptors. But now you're gonna feel the pain of what you did.
Is this not good? Because
No, no.
then the Raptors.
Yeah, this is good, but because remember you did your red buff first, so now you're gonna
Oh,
wait.
yeah.
Now you're gonna wait a few extra seconds.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, it's okay that you did red buff. It doesn't waste too much time. But then if you're gonna do your raptors as they spawn, then you won't get like these won't spawn when you get to them.
Right.
That makes sense. So it's like
Yeah.
you wasted like 10, 15 seconds, but now you know, right? And that's why you do the Krug or the Krug's second, not third. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go a little faster. Let's see. Yeah. Also now, which camp do you think you should go to next?
Wolves.
Really?
Would you not say wolves? Because obviously we done Raptors, Krugs into wolves into Grump.
What I
So would
would
you not
do.
go?
What I would do. Okay. So you just did Raptors and then Krugs, right?
Hmm.
Which is going down. So if you did your wolves, then you're going up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolves to Grump, and not, and then these ones will spawn down again. Like just this one will spawn first, and then this one, and then you'll never be able to fix it. What
Uh-huh.
I would do if I was you, actually, okay, let me. Okay, what I would do if I was you, since you're almost level 5, I would actually, I would just walk to the void grubs here. It's not the end of the world to do these wolves if you're doing it to get level 5, but what I think would be optimal is if you walked like near mid lane, stole some XP for level 5, did your void grubs at level 5 with items, and then by the time you do void grubs, you see this grump will spawn.
Hmm.
And then you'll do the wolves, and then you can walk here. You can maybe like help your mid laner, maybe like walk into this river, and then in a few seconds later, your raptors will spawn, and then your krugs. And then when you recall the next time, you'll have a full clear ready.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm
So
like,
you only want to. So you only want to start with Raptors into Krugs. Only the first.
yeah,
Um.
usually you want to do it the first time. And a lot of times what
Right.
happens is sometimes you want to do the raptors as they spawn and not recall, but sometimes you want to like you want to recall, and by the time you recall, your Krugs will be already spawned as well as your raptors, and then you just do
Hmm.
another normal clear.
Right. That's fine.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
always
yeah.
thinking about how I can fix my camps and get them into a line, like spawning in a
Right.
line. It's kind of like, it's just efficiency, it's not a big deal, but it just adds up, and you want to be as efficient as possible as as you improve. But yeah, but now I just do avoid grubs. But also another thing to think about is if I were you, I would not have done the Gromp there because after getting level 5 off the wolves and spending all my money when I recalled, I would be wanting to take the void grubs as fast as possible. Because when you just hit level 5 after the wolves and you have all this gold, that means you're as strong as possible.
Right.
So you're doing the Gromp, you're just kind of risking like maybe the Mastery will cheese the void grubs while you're doing that. But if you would have found him there, you would have just killed him.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, you're like stronger than him right now. But you know, not so bad. I'd be looking mid while doing this, looking top. I'd probably gank top after this.
I think that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah,
I think I get level 6 off of them, I'm not sure.
yeah, I think you do. Okay.
Oh, I don't gank because...
Oh yeah, he died.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do gank this.
Yeah, didn't let him push.
And I hold my E as well. Until
Yeah.
she's a bit closer.
Yeah, that was a nice E.
She flashed. Oh.
Nice. Good. We just saw Master go through his red buff as well. Okay. I like this though. This is good. Yeah, I'll also tell you, like, I've just been kind of nitpicking, but I think you're playing this game pretty well. This is a little risky, because where do you think Master Yi is right now?
On his Krogs.
Yeah. Okay. As long as you know that, then this is very good. Yeah.
I even warded just to see him coming.
Yeah, that's good.
That's fine.
Yeah, I also would have went for these Raptors, but I'd be very ready to run away, you know?
Yeah. Plus we also Katarina backed, so
Yeah.
I think that's why I mainly went for it.
That's good. Now we're so happy after we finish our clear. So happy.
Because we can... Oh, what did I do here?
Let's see. Did you think about helping him? No.
Yeah, I thought Katarina would dive him, but
That's so good. But once again, like, this is what I'm saying. It just feels a little bit awkward the way your camps are right now. Because you're clearing down, but then you're gonna have to clear up. Does that make sense?
Would you not just go Gromp right now?
Right
Like
now?
obviously after recall? No, after recall.
Oh, after recalling? Yeah, I mean, let me
I could have fixed it, right?
let me just go to my. I need to hotkeys. Did I not do it? Sorry. So if I look at your gold, you have 1400 gold. Yeah, I mean, I would, since you have so much gold, you should always try to recall when you have like 1200 or 1300 gold or more.
Uh-huh.
After doing this, like, it would be fine to just recall. Because you should look bot and see that you're not going to gank. So I would just recall right here. But, you know, recalling in the bush is not bad. I guess you keep your bot vision, so sometimes I do this too. But you just buy like Blasting Bond and then Dark Seal or something. I would have gone a Dark Seal.
I never buy Dark Seal.
Oh, really?
I don't. Yeah. I
Why
don't
not?
really know when to give it, just in case I start dying and then it's obviously pointless if you die.
Well, if you look, does anyone have Dark Seal in this game? I think Dark Seal gives you like, does it give you like 10 or 15 AP? And it gives you health. I don't know if you knew that. Even when it's not stacked.
I mean, I knew it gave you 15 AP, I didn't know it gave you health. So it's actually a pretty
It's
good item then.
it's also very cheap. So the times when you get Dark Seal, for example, like this game, your first recall you had enough money for hunting guys, so you always buy hunting guys.
Uh-huh.
Right? But if you were recalling with like 800 gold on your first recall, you should get like Amplifying Tome and Dark Seal. Right?
Right.
instead of getting like the ruby crystal. And then you don't even have to worry about the stacks. Like, don't even think about them. They don't matter. You're only getting the dark seal because it's a decent item, and if you happen to have a good game and you have 10 stacks, then you can just get mage eyes for free. You know?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You shouldn't think about it as like a risk. Dark seal is not the mage eyes is a risk, you know? But dark seal is not a risk. It's just a very good AP item for junglers. So you just try to get it on a recall where you can, as long as it doesn't screw over your other items. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's fine to recall there. I still think your jungle spawn rates are gonna be awkward, but it's not a big deal. That's just something you can, work on over time
Hmm.
to just become even more efficient. I think the way you're playing this game is pretty good. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think if I were you, I would have just walked at this guy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think you realize how strong you are.
Yeah. I actually feel
Like,
like Mastery could have one-shot me.
really?
Yeah. Because he's also like really close to me, right? And then my Q's not going to do a lot of damage because he's going to be on the
Yeah,
inside of it.
maybe. I'd be more scared of Katarina, but I think you're very strong right now. I probably would
I
have
think I'm
tried to
just running for
steal
grubs.
steal them. Yeah, but play for White Grubs is good here. Oh, this is a good E.
Oof.
Close. That's a good E because he's kind of stuck here, like on this wall.
Hmm.
I would just try to cheese them here. If you can get a double ult on them, it's GG.
I think that's what happens. Uh, no,
That
she's too
one ult
far.
is fine. It's fine. You see how? Okay. I think this is still fine. Nice, good E. It's unlucky. Your smolder is kind of useless, so it's a bit tough. But it works out pretty well.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, okay. I just want you to notice how much damage you just did to that guy.
Yeah.
That's why I
Well,
would have. That's why I would have like when you hit your E on here. I low key. I think I would have ulted him and just try to kill him.
right, yeah. I think I would have one-shot him then, probably.
But at least he would be out of the fight. But here, okay, if I were you, maybe it's because you're scared of E. But if I were you, when I hit this E on him, I would have just walked at him and Q'd him. I would not have used my
Right.
W yet, but I would have Q'd him and just kept autoing him. And then when Katarina tries to help him, then I would try to get both of them. And you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
A lot of times you feel like you can't get her because she's running away, but you should know at the back of your mind that as soon as you start fighting the Yi, she'll try to go in. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you just gotta think like one step
But
ahead. So yeah. So this ends up being a little bit less good than it could have been, but still not bad. Does that make sense?
yeah, 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 yeah. Just hold my ult for longer. I always actually think I use my ult a bit too quickly most of the time.
Yeah. I would recommend like if you watch like my last live stream, I think I played a Lillia game. You can see like try to see how I ult. Ask yourself like what you would have done or something. I don't know. You could try to do something like that. Um,
Right.
I think sometimes holding ult is good, and sometimes using it straight away is good. So it's hard to tell. It's not always clear. Yeah, good play. Let's see. I'm gonna see. You actually skipped your Krugs to do it. This is very good. I think that's a good sign that you're paying attention to the game when you skip a camp to help your team. They're very good.
Hmm. I'm not a big fan of skipping camps because I've seen a Gurren
Yeah,
Talk about obviously farming always first.
yeah, that is. I mean, that I also believe that. Like, and I watched so much of Gurren, but that's the thing is knowing when it is actually okay to skip a camp. That's the key. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's 90% of the time you're not gonna skip your camp. But if there's a fight going on near you, if you watch a Gurren, he will skip his camp. He'll stop doing it and go to the fight.
Mm. So that was a good
Yeah,
fight, right?
that was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. I'm saying that was yeah.
Right.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Uh, I think overall, I feel like you are playing different this game. You're playing better. This was a good ult. I like this.
Yeah. My E, I got pretty lucky there, but because
Yeah,
she didn't dodge it, but
that's fine to throw out your E, you know? Otherwise, you would have just kept farming, you know? So there's no risk for you.
I kind of wait for her to come before fighting him.
I'd be a little wording this and then just farming is good because without my ult, I'm a little bit more scared of Mastery E.
Hmm.
You know?
Especially if he has Kraken, right?
Yeah,
You just
Kraken
ult
is
my.
big power
Yeah.
spike for him. But, oh, going Ninja Tabbies is pretty good here. I like that. It also counters Katarina. I don't know if you knew that. It kind of.
Actually, you know how you have the suggested tab?
Oh yeah.
It says it countered Katarina, but I didn't understand why. But
Because they changed. I might be wrong, but I think they changed her ult so it applies on hit effects, which means it's kind of like an auto attack.
oh
So
right.
and plated steel caps reduces auto attack damage by 12%. And Katarina just auto attacks a lot in general compared to other mages, so
Hmm.
it like kind of counters her, you know.
Right.
But it definitely
I
counters
mainly just
Vayne
went for. Yeah,
and Jhin
that's
and
mainly who I
E.
went for.
Yeah, so I think knowing when to go play steel caps is very good too, because very underrated item on Lillia. You got to think like every time you fight, you're usually in range to get attacked. But yeah, see,
I just tank it for him.
yeah, this is very good. Very clean gameplay.
Would you have flash there, or I think I flashed just so the
Let's
pike
see.
wouldn't have died from her ult.
Um, no, I would not have flashed.
Hmm. I didn't even see him ult, to be fair.
Yeah, Pike would have lived as well. If you look at his health, he actually really like gains health here or something. No, I don't know. I don't think she would have done 490 damage. Maybe I don't know. It's you know, but if you thought
Hmm.
that he might have died, then it's okay. But I think usually at Olivia, like I would probably let my teammate die because
Right.
I
Okay.
think my flash is so broken. You know,
Yeah.
every
Just do
time,
like a flash Q ult.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if you knew this, but like I usually do Q flash ult.
Yeah, 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 like
Yeah.
right before your flash, yeah. Just so once you flash, you instantly hit them.
Yep. Yep. Because being able to do that is, it's not that hard to learn, but it's very strong once you learn it. But yeah, let's see. I don't know this game. I mean, this game looks pretty good. Oh, let me see. Did you hit another E? Here. I like that.
I just went for it because they all backed off.
Yeah. When I'm strong at Lillia, I will just always do those type of ults. Just to like, because the rest of their team can't really fight you anyway. So they can't save their teammate, you know? It's more important to get like valuable ults on a lot of people at once if you're behind, you know?
Right.
Because you're so far ahead, you just keep fighting them, you know? But yeah, um, I think that this game is pretty much won from this point. I think you played really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're kind of out of time.
Yeah, that's fine.
An hour and 10 minutes here, but yeah. Do you think you learned something at least?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I'm gonna rewatch it as well anyway, and
All right.
then
Yeah. I will.